Hi, I'm Rob.
Hi, and I'm Katie.
And
this is
Kara Compares. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. I want to shake it up every time, but there's not really a way to shake it up. Maybe we'll do like first or second year, we'll do like a whole like intro mix thing.
You should.
You should.
You are the editor.
It's true. So,
I'm just here.
Well, you're one half of this duo.
Dynamic duo.
It's true, yeah. We got described as Abbott and Costello by my friend Yvonne.
That's a good thing.
I think it's actually not bad. Yeah, I think. What do you guys feel about that? Anyway, ragazzi, today we are coming to you with something actually I'm kind of looking forward to. We've had in the freezer for a couple weeks because we were waiting to shoot this episode. Breakfast sandwiches.
I love breakfast and I love breakfast sandwiches.
True. I usually make these myself, and again, super easy to do this.
It's probably more economical and healthier and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. So this is interesting.
Sometimes you're just on the go and you have a microwave and not a lot of time.
It's true. So all of these are microwavable sandwiches. They take about 2 minutes to cook. You wrap them all in paper towels, according to the instructions on all of these, with slight variations in cook times. But we're going to use our better judgment here on this so that they're all on equal ground. We did try to find sandwiches that were like as identical as possible. There's only a handful. Yeah, no, there was only a handful of them that actually really kind of match up. So at the very least, I think we have cheese sausage sandwiches with egg.
Yes.
Right, across the board. Now, we do have our Trader Joe's here, which is going to be, instead of bread, it uses the egg as like the bread.
So it's a gluten-free alternative.
Right. We also have the Jimmy Dean, which is on a biscuit.
Which, to be honest, that's my preferred
honestly.
Breakfast sandwich, even though I do love English muffins as well, and that's usually our go-to because
it's already there. It's easy. It's true. And then, of course, we do have on an English muffin, we do have Rudi's, which I don't think I've never had any of these.
No.
So, because generally,
so we really are kind of going in blind.
Yes. So, what do we need to know? When were breakfast sandwiches? When was breakfast invented? Who was the first person to wake up and say, "I'm hungry"? Yeah. Always. Yeah. Was it even a human? Probably some ancient creature, like a dinosaur, was like woke up and was like, "It is time to chew on some leaves."
Yeah, maybe. His name was Brontosaurus. I don't know.
That's it. His name was Brontosaurus.
His name was Bron.
He wasn't even a Brontosaurus. His name was Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
Okay, but he wasn't even a Brontosaurus. He was like a.
No, he was a raptor.
It was a raptor.
It was very confusing.
Yeah, confusing times.
No, but I mean, I'm interested in whatever these are because I've never had them.
I feel like I've had Jimmy Dean sausages in the past, but I don't really remember. So, I mean, and honestly, like for a long time, we did a lot of the. What's the like the vegetarian one that we used to get the patties?
Morningstar.
Morningstar. Those are pretty good.
Those are pretty good.
Yep.
So I do know that Jimmy Dean. I mean, so obviously all of these have meat products. So yep. I think the Egg Witch from Trader Joe's has a turkey sausage. Jimmy Dean, I believe, is pork based.
Okay. And Rudi's.
I think they are also pork based or turkey. I don't know if it says catering, but it does not say. It probably says somewhere, and I will find it.
Okay. Oh, it says right here.
I just.
Oh no, it says sausage.
It's just sausage.
Never mind.
But Jimmy Dean in 2021, they do now offer some like meat alternatives to some of their offerings, and then, I mean, if that's something of concern to you.
Sure. So what I think we'll do is we'll talk about these. We'll probably cook them one at a time to give them like the hottest, best chance.
What was that?
How was that?
It's a ghost.
You guys hear that? Something fell? It might have been the mat that I moved out of the way from the kitchen.
Oh, well.
Anyway, so I think what we'll do is we'll cook them one at a time.
Okay.
We'll talk about them, and we'll have to make long cuts between. So, but that works for me, and then we'll have them all here, so it's nice and room temperature when we do our final comparisons. So we're going to eat...
I think we should go with the OG Jimmy Dean.
All right.
And go to Rudi's and then the Trader Joe's.
That works for me.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get started
and we will be back. Happy. So I took over for you.
You did. All right, let's talk cooking instructions. Our very, very first episode we did with dumplings had some terrible cooking instructions, particularly from the Trader Joe's dumplings. So we caution how you follow the instructions because it's not always makes sense. We did try to follow the instructions here and reduce our power on our microwave, but for some reason it it just beeped at me. It didn't actually let me adjust anything. It just
Screamed
beep,
at you.
and that was it. Yeah. So, and also like when you're doing all this stuff, are you going to be actually turning down your power, turning up the power? If you're
Maybe some people do.
maybe, but like if you're just going to be doing this really quickly, you're going to run out. Like, hey, let me heat this up real quick. You know, grab a drink, grab my snacks, whatever, and then just go. I don't imagine you're going to be futzing even that much with it. So we did wrap it in paper towel. We didn't wet the paper towel because it didn't call for that. But it is still hot, as you can tell. The cheese is melted. So I did about 30 seconds upright, wrapped in paper towel, flipped upside down for about 30 seconds, put it back up for about 30 more seconds, and then like another 15 or 20 seconds with it uncovered completely. The issue, of course, is that, you know, it's going to get the cheese is going to melt through. It's going to get really hot. The grease is going to kind of like...
Don't you want the cheese to be all melty?
Well, you do, but it's weird because you have like a frozen patty with a frozen egg on top of that, with the cheese on top of that. So the cheese is going to melt a lot faster than the rest of it. So your cheese is going to be molten or just leaking down the sides, while your patty could still be a little cold in the center, right? So that's the trick, I think. And now your bun's going to get a little bit soggier, and which is even worse for biscuit, I would imagine. But
yeah, I agree. No one wants a soggy biscuit. What?
That sounds like something. All right,
Does that sound like the Great British Bake Off or something?
A soggy biscuit. I don't even know what that sounds like.
Stodgy or something, and then you just have Paul Hollywood just like peek over.
All right, so here's your cross section. It looks fine. I mean, it smells pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
It smells like breakfast. I wish it had some seasoning, but that is just me. And of course, it's a blank canvas. I guess you could put like hot sauce or whatever you wanted on it.
So what do we need to know about them? Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, so Jimmy Dean was a real person.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah.
Like Jimmy Hoffa?
I mean,
He was also a real person.
He was also a real person,
See,
but completely different.
Their both names were Jimmy. Well, the other guy did bikes. Hoffa, right? Huffy. I know it's a joke. She's not even this guy.
No.
Carry on.
Okay, so Jimmy Dean was a country singer. He was also like a TV host and an actor. I guess he had like some kind of show at some point where he
that is what actors do.
no, like a talk show or something like that.
Okay.
He actually gave another Jim Henson, his first national like
spot.
Yeah, like media spot.
Oh.
So I'd be like, if it wasn't for Jimmy Dean, maybe we would not have the Muppets.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 1969, Jimmy Dean founded the Jimmy Dean Meat Company. So they predominantly focused on like sausage and chicken kind of products, like breakfast products.
What a strange thing for an actor to do, but Paul Newman
I think it's because, he was from Texas and he used to actually make sausage with his granddad.
Oh, okay.
So that's about it. And then he was also known for saying, sausage is a great deal like life. You get out of it what you put into it. So I guess it's all about like
the quality of the
quality of what you do.
Which I wonder how he'd feel about the current quality of the Jimmy Dean stuff.
I don't know. So he used to be on all of like the TV spots and stuff until like 2000 or whatever. The Jimmy Dean Company was bought out by Sara Lee in like 1984.
Oh, okay.
Sara Lee is owned by Hillshire.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Foods, which is actually now owned by Tyson.
Of course
it's one
it is.
of those types of
I don't particularly care for Tyson.
Company within a company within a company. So it's like the Russian nesting doll of
food. Anything else?
No, I think that's a good amount.
All right. You want a whole half or a whole half? Or you want
I just want to...
You want the half?
Yeah, I'll take a half.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Maybe you wanted a quarter.
So, the biscuit is a little soggy, like we said, but that's...
You expect
it's frozen.
Yeah.
Smells good. This is a pork sausage, so...
I mean, it smells like the sausage you get from like a continental breakfast.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say that. I appreciate that the bottom part of the biscuit is like some a little,
not
like a little harder, but that it's not falling apart in your.
I don't know if a biscuit is the right choice. I mean, like, a biscuit is the right choice for a breakfast sandwich, I think. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it works
for frozen.
From frozen for a microwave, I don't know if that works.
Mm-hmm.
Should we be keeping them in the fridge and thawing them out? I don't know.
They do have that as an option. I'd be interested in
Maybe that would be
it.
better. It would cook a little more evenly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could be worth trying at some point. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little salty. I think it could.
It's gonna have a. It's.
I think it would benefit from just a little bit of pepper, which obviously you could put on after you cook it.
Yeah. Some sriracha, some
I
tapatio,
really
something.
love biscuit, so I'm a little disappointed in
The biscuit.
the biscuit portion of it.
But you don't. But you really don't expect it with this. Like you don't expect quality when you're microwaving a biscuit. It's just probably not going to be good. Like with all the stuff inside of it. I mean, like it's going to get greasy. I didn't have high expectations, and I wasn't. I guess I wasn't let down in any way. Like it's kind of what I expected. I think
that it's palatable, but
yeah,
it's not. It's not something to write home about.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I would prefer just making our own.
Fair enough. Well, so far, but now we've got Rudi's on an English muffin.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up right now. Okay, so the cook time on the Rudi's was a little bit different. We've got slice the sandwich in half, basically. Take the meat and the bread on one, the egg and cheese with the bread on the other. Wrap them each in a paper towel. Cook them for 90 seconds. Reassemble the sandwich. Rewrap them. And then cook it for another 60 seconds. Honestly, that was a little bit more accurate, I think, and that's on your high settings for your microwave. So that makes it at least a little bit more reasonable. But then they said to make sure that it hits an internal temperature of 165, which, again, much like the previous one, if you're going to be making this quick on the go, you're probably not pulling out the meat thermometer and checking the internal temperature. Now we did, and we're at about 170. Okay. So we still did it, but I can't imagine anybody actually doing it.
I think they have to say that for legal reasons, so that, food poisoning and all that stuff.
So this one didn't have separate cheese. I think the cheese is...
because it's a frittata.
Right. So the cheese should be in... What you're noticing, the egg on this is actually a lot thicker than it was in the Jimmy Dean. Mm-hmm. And I do think... So the cheese would be incorporated into that egg. And then also the underside of this, which you can't really see anymore now, actually had like a pretty thick layer of what looked like pepper on it.
What?
The underside of the frittata had like what looked like pepper on the underside of it.
Okay.
So we'll see. Anyway, Katie's going to tell us about Rudi's while I get across the cross-section.
Okay. Well, because I had never heard of Rudi's, but I guess it's been around since 1976. It's from Boulder, Colorado. So the founder, Sheldon Romer, I guess, named it after a 20th century spiritual leader out of like a yoga ashram that his name was Rudi Swami Rudranada.
That series of sentences is the most Colorado thing I was going to
say. That's not surprising at all.
None of that surprises me. So, you could have said Portland, Oregon. It would have felt the same thing. Anyway.
Agreed. Or Eugene, Oregon.
Also true.
Yes.
For those of you that know your Oregon.
So anyway, they have a lot of organic kind of products. This is only 40% organic ingredients. And then they have a lot of gluten-free, like, breads and stuff. They use like small batch kind of like starters and things like that. I believe they also have, even though this is not a gluten-free sandwich, they do have a version of it that's gluten-free.
I'm curious, there's a handful of ingredients. Is it like the bread is like not gluten-free, but then the cheese is, or is it like the egg is like 40%, like 60% gluten, or not gluten, but 60% organic, and then the bread is like 20% organic? How do you become 40%? Or
that's what I said. So I'm assuming they did denote on the ingredients list which are the organic ingredients. So I think a lot of it is like the flour and other things.
It says enlarged so detailed, but that's actually approximately the size of it.
It kind of is, yeah.
Made with their signature sourdough English muffins, which I feel like this term signature gets thrown around kind of a lot. Look, signature means like this is indicative of us. So hopefully you stand by it.
They are a bakery. They're a bread company. So what was also interesting, so I did go on their website. They have, some of their products are, like, they have a version that's kind of like the Uncrustables.
Of what?
The Smucker? No, like, so like Smucker's has those Uncrustables, so they have something like that.
That could be worth trying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, I'm taking the lead with the Uncrustables, but
they also have some kind of partnership with the YWCA.
What's the YWCA?
Young Women's Christian Association, like YMCA, but why?
Oh, I didn't realize
they do a lot of so they have like some kind of program or something for nutrition and like for like children's nutrition.
Okay.
which would make sense of why they have those kind of. I know that's not what they're called, but that's what it makes me think of is the Uncrustables.
Okay.
That's what it
We
is.
can take a peek at it. Why the hell not? Okay.
And I think those are the
Those are
quick
fun
fun facts.
Okay. These look pretty good. I mean,
They do, but so I have a concern
smells good,
about the English muffin because personally I like toasting my English muffins as
That's
most
true.
people do because you want to have that texture difference. These
So would
seem
you-
quite
would you-
well, no, they're not pillowy. They look pillowy.
they're kind of dense.
They are kind of dense.
So,
but that
and
could
again-
also be just because like it has to hold up in the freezing process.
So, if you were going to make this yourself, then would you take off the English muffin, heat the two parts of it, and then take the English muffin and put it in the toaster? I suppose you could do that. I guess.
You could.
I'm curious for any of these sandwiches if you could actually put them in an air fryer and if it would be just as good.
One of them does have a question about that in the frequently asked question. I don't know if it was Jimmy Dean
Oh.
or one of them on their website, but then it just said just check your air fryer for instructions.
So it's
They're
a way
like passing on the
which is a crazy thing
maybe.
because I don't think our air fryer, and I still have the instruction booklets and recipes from the air fryer. I don't think it includes one very specifically about breakfast sandwiches.
Probably not.
Like that's very specific. I mean, this is one of those things. Like it's kind of like it's cooking in an oven. Like, can you cook it in an oven? Probably.
You could, but then
But-
it's like cook times will vary and good
We have
luck.
no idea. Yeah, basically. Okay. I like how I do like the side. I mean, it's a frittata, really, but I do like the look of that.
It smells.
It smells
It smells
spicy.
more
Not-
seasoned.
seasoned. Yeah. And you
And I
can
do see that they have like a layer of like just like pepper on
pepper
the
or something
bottom.
on the bottom. Yeah, it's probably more than just pepper. There might be some paprika or something there too. Maybe, who knows? But all right, ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
You're something full.
Mm.
I think something fell. Whatever.
Huh. So
Did we forget to say this is a pork sausage? We did find the answer.
yes. So you may have noticed while I was doing the cross section of this, it was actually really hard to cut to the bottom of this.
It was also
Hard to bite through.
Yes.
Yes. So
I
it's
think I actually heard my jaw go.
yeah, it is a little bit denser. I don't really like the English muffin. It's just mass, and it absorbs the liquid, whatever
Like-
drippings, fine.
Yeah.
But as far as English muffins go, it's not crispy. It's just it's chewy.
Well, then it's not even pillowy, which you may also think of.
Right.
Potentially, depending on your English muffin.
But the flavor's there, I think. Do you not?
I don't know. It has flavor, but I
Yes.
don't know if I particularly like the sausage as much as
The Jimmy Dean?
yeah.
That's fair. Okay. I mean,
Which
but
kind
that's
of
true.
makes sense because Jimmy Dean was like no.
Is a sausage meat company, and
Yeah.
and this one is a bakery,
Mm-hmm.
which you would expect actually then a better
That's
quality,
why.
which is a little
But
disappointing.
maybe it's just because it is frozen.
Again, yeah, there's something to be said about
I
that.
mean, I would try. Do they have Rudi's Rocky Mountain Bakery like breads at Kroger?
I don't know. I guess we can look for that. And
I
try
would
to see if they're
try
any good.
because, like, I mean,
We could try breads. We could do an episode about breads. If you want to see that, let us know in the comments. But also let us know anything
Yeah.
else you want to see in the comments down below. Thank you. Any other thoughts on this one before we
no,
go to
I
the final?
mean, I did appreciate the egg a little bit better.
I agree. Yeah.
Because there was more substance to it. There's more height. It seems like you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck as far as like the ratio. Maybe well, no, because like
I guess we'll see
this
when
is
we
just
get to the
too big.
prices.
And I think it was a clever idea to put the cheese in the
Yes.
egg. What do you call it? Like egg
Frittata.
disc.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what it
and that's
is.
true because
But I do think it's weird that all the pepper went to the bottom.
or maybe they just seasoned one side of it, and that's kind of
Yeah.
just for manufacturing. It's just easier. But no, I do agree. The cheese incorporated into the egg makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just for like even cookingness.
Well, especially like think about it. If maybe you had like a kid or a teen or something, like they're gonna burn the hell out of their
Yes.
hands and
And
or mouth.
normally we would too, because we have no patience when it comes to this kind of
I'm
thing.
really
And
bad at that. Like, you know, like
It's-
if just like when we make pizza or whatever, we take it out of the oven, and then Rob's like, "You gotta let it cool," and then I don't listen
She
to
does
him,
not,
and then
yeah.
the next day I'm complaining.
the next day she
about-
will not shut up about how much she burned her. I can't taste anything. Everything sucks.
Yes.
So here we're actually able to let it cool because we've been talking about it right before. So this is actually how you should be consuming it, because we go right from the microwave to our plate.
Well, I mean, you're not buying microwavable things because you have patience.
It's honestly, and that's kind of the point. You're doing it because it's quick, it's easy, and you don't have time even to fry an egg, toast this, grab this. Even if you have the ingredients,
that doesn't even take a lot of time.
It doesn't take a lot of time, and I think it would be infinitely better. But we're going to touch up on that in a moment when we get into, or after we get into our last one, which is going to be Trader Joe's Egg Witch, which is going to be the most different, I think, of these. We will see.
Well, yeah, because it has no bread.
True. Trader Joe's from Frozen microwave instructions for a 1200 watt microwave. Ours is 1000 watts.
What else?
So close enough. Wrap it in a damp paper towel.
So the only one I wanted it to be.
Which actually I think the other ones might have been better from damp. I don't know if that would have been better.
No, because I think they'd be more soggy.
That's true, they would be more soggy. Cook it for 90 seconds. Flip it. Cook 50. It for 50. Sorry, jeez, that's a good point. 50 seconds. So wrap it in a damp paper towel, cook it for 50 seconds. Flip it, cook it for another 50 seconds, and then plate it, let it sit for a minute. You can also do it from a toaster oven, apparently. Pre-high oven, toaster oven to 350, remove wrapper, whatever.
Blah, 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 blah. Cook until the temperature reaches 165. That's it.
Yeah. So this one, it has no bread. There's egg, there's cheese on the bottom, depending on how you flip it, or on the top, whatever.
I don't know why that makes me think of, is the glass half full or half empty? Is the cheese on the top or the bottom? I don't know why. That's just where my brain went.
There's a joke somewhere in it that like some kid complained to his like parents that like, oh, I prefer it's bread, jelly, peanut butter, bread. Not and they're like, oh, my mother put the peanut butter on top. I can't have the sandwich.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, tell us about Trader Joe's while I give us a cross section of this.
I don't have a lot to say. Most people know something about them.
Also, Trader Joe's doesn't have. They
always have a lot of different products that come out, and I don't know when this came out. Did it say it was new?
Ish. Newish. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's gluten free. That's it. It supposedly has 16 grams of protein.
All the big advertisements up front,
which makes sense because there's no bread and you have like twice as much.
We'll actually talk about that at the final thoughts because there's some surprising stuff about the nutrition value of these.
Really? You looked it up?
Well, I mean, I read it on the box.
Oh, okay.
So, not so surprising.
So you looked it up? Ish.
Literally. Okay, yes. All right. So really nothing to say about Trader Joe's then, I guess.
No, I mean, they're from California and that's it.
Named for a guy named Joe. His name wasn't Joe. It was actually Michael. Oh, I actually have no idea.
No, it's
all right. So obviously this was easier to cut because there's no bread. There's nothing to be rubbery.
But then it's going to be even more like...
It's going to be a little greasier.
Greasy.
Yeah. Ooh.
This one is a turkey sausage, so the last two were pork. It is gluten-free, so if you are gluten intolerant, I think this would be for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just smells a little bland.
Oh. I taste a bit of cheese and all sausage.
There's a lot of salt.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not bad.
The turkey sausage does have, like, a decent flavor.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of some kind of spices going on. But overwhelmingly, I just taste salt and then I taste American cheese.
It's true. I mean, there's really not a whole hell of a lot to say about it.
It's not bad.
It's fine. All right. So, I don't think we've been overly impressed with all of these out the gate.
There wasn't a lot to say. I know that's kind of hard. With, like, some foods you can actually, like, say, like, this reminds me of blah.
Something. Yeah, but we don't really...
Maybe this would remind you of, like, the sous vide from, like...
Oh, from, like
Starbucks
or whatever.
Just, like, the texture a little bit.
I mean, but it's an egg patty with a sausage patty and cheese on top of an egg patty. So it's...
Which I think because of that, I would rather have this with, like a fork. Like,
honestly,
I
it makes
more
sense.
I wouldn't want to just be like, oh, let me just like, bite it.
So, okay, we're going to reconvene and get back to you with our final thoughts on all of these right after word from whoever's going to give us a word here.
Okay, final thoughts. Heavy sigh. There wasn't much to say.
To quote you between takes, they're mid. And again, like mid...
But it's not bad. It's a passable... It's a C.
It's a C. That's the thing. Is kids nowadays, they say mid, like, oh, something's mid because it's not, like, extraordinary stuff. Mid is fine. Mid is average. Mid, they're fine.
You know, we've had a lot of things that
were terrible.
Yeah.
Some of them were astounding, but they're fine. Like, you know, if you're grabbing a sandwich and you have 2 minutes, you throw this in, and they're even without the paper towel, just throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes, finish getting ready, grab it, throw it in the bag, and then just run off. Fine, that's fine. You know, if you could sit down somewhere and eat this, go ahead. But to don't eat it in the car. It's greasy. It's disgusting. Also, don't distract yourself while you're driving. That's a whole other issue. They're fine, right? Just kind of, they're fine. That's all I've got.
I feel like you should doctor it up, though.
You do need something, a bit of...
I think a little hot sauce.
A little hot sauce.
Some kind of seasoning.
Yeah, I mean, because they've got like that generic, just kind of like,
there's
box
a lot
sausage
of salt.
flavor. Yeah, a whole bunch of salt. So, I mean, do we have preference? All right, let's talk nutrition. So, of course, Trader Joe's advertises 16 grams of protein per serving. But you know what's funny?
What?
Rudi's actually has 17 grams. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Because it does seem to have more egg.
Yes, you do have a little bit more egg, and then probably you could even have just like a little bit of protein from the bread. Like a tiny bit. So we've got the Trader Joe's, we have the Rudi's, we have the Jimmy Dean, and respectively you've got 190, 340, and 410 calories a pop. So and this one makes a whole lot of sense. Where if you look at the count your calories, you want the protein, boost or whatever without a lot of calories. Yeah, sure. This will probably make a fine little snack then. So in that case, Trader Joe's is actually pretty good. However, though, if you're getting older and you're concerned about your sodium intake, I mean, none of these are going to be good. 610 grams or milligrams rather. 670 in the Rudi's. We've got 850 in the Jimmy Dean. And honestly, wow.
How much sodium should you have in a day? Like, what's the 100% maximum that they recommend?
I don't actually know.
It depends on who you ask.
What?
Because the USDA would say 2,000. But international, European, or like who recommends...
I imagine they're a lot lower.
About 1,600. And that's the maximum you should be having in a day. And it's not even like, this is the recommended dosage. Have 100% of your vitamin B6 or whatever. This is, don't have more than 6. So already... and I'm assuming that this is going with the higher value one to show that's like lower numbers. But, I mean, these aren't great for you. If you're having this, you should have no other sodium for the day as much as possible. Two of these.
Limit.
Definitely.
At least try and limit.
Right. But anything going over that 1,600 is still kind of dangerous regardless of your age, right? And you certainly don't want to do it consistently. So these still aren't great. Now, admittedly, they're fairly tasty if you're being lazy. And, I was kind of looking forward to having these, and I still am.
Well, because we like breakfast food. I mean,
now
we usually just do this at home, though. But I guess out of these, which ones did you gravitate towards?
So,
I think weirdly enough, because of how the microwave treated the bread products, I did like the Trader Joe's.
Yes, actually. So here's the thing. For me, I think Rudi stands out as actually the worst. I would say.
I just think their bread didn't hold up very well with the, so when you're cooking something in the microwave and sometimes it's just in there a tad bit too long, it goes past being cooked and then it actually just kind of like becomes just like really tough and stodgy, or like it was way too hard to eat. I'm sure they have great, some kind of great bread products. I just don't know if it holds up with the cooking method.
And here's the thing. The biscuit will tear. It will fall apart as you're biting into it. As you
that's what biscuits do.
Exactly. But as you notice just now even, when I try to bite into it, the whole sandwich just kind of falls out the other side. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's kind of hard to eat. So this is going to be, it's okay, but that's going to be a no for me, fan. Now, honestly, based on nutritional values, I'd probably just take the Trader Joe's. Mm-hmm. The biscuit on this is fine. Again,
yeah, but if I want a biscuit, I'll either make my own biscuit or go. There has to be some kind of.
It is so much easier.
Food place here.
Yeah, I mean, fry an egg. You don't have to.
That's the thing is, I like fried egg sandwiches because then you have like the yolk and it runs and it just gets all good.
Fry an egg. You can grab a Jimmy Dean sausage if you like Jimmy Dean. Grab a Jimmy Dean sausage, throw it on a plate, microwave that. Put that with your
I
egg.
think that'd be far better.
And then you can take a Pillsbury biscuit if you've already made them from like a previous night,
Mm-hmm.
or just an English muffin, toast it really quick. It takes just as long, just about as any of other these, because these what, about 2 to 3 minutes a pop.
Yeah.
Give or take, and you just have to throw it all together, and now you've got a presumably slightly healthier, food that's.
Well, and then you can also, flavor it to your liking.
Mhm.
You can, just put extra stuff in.
Yeah. So, all right.
Plus, I think overall it's cheaper too. So.
Honestly, yeah.
And speaking of price, so Jimmy Dean's, that had a pack of 4, right?
There's 4 in Jimmy Dean's.
So that is $8.79 at our local Kroger, Ralph's, whatever, supermarket.
Okay. Rudi's.
Rudi's was $8.99 for 2 of them.
So twice as much, quite literally twice
Mhm.
as much. Okay. And Trader Joe's egg which?
According to their website, because I can't remember where my receipt was, it was $5.49 for 2.
Interesting.
Right?
Honestly, so you can 100% make especially this. You can
Yes.
absolutely make that cheaper because it doesn't even have bread.
Yeah.
If you like this and you want to make your own, grab a slice of cheese, grab a patty, grab a couple eggs. That's all you need, right? And an egg is, their eggs are still expensive now,
They are.
but like it's still
Inflation.
Right.
whatnot.
but whatever.
It's way cheaper though. If you
But
really
Jimmy
think
Dean's is
about it.
clearly the cheaper option
Mhm.
from all of these, especially more so the Rudi's. And really, Rudi's sorry, Rudi's, it wasn't as good. The bread just doesn't hold up, and unfortunately, that's like half of your sandwich right there.
That's more than half. Did you see how big that was?
That's true. This is your Rudi's, and as much as I like that thick egg there, it's just, all that bread, And again, if it were good,
I like bread. When it's good.
If it was good, not a problem. Problem is it isn't very good. So, oh well.
So are you pleased that we finally tried these?
Yeah, actually, we wanted to do these for a little while, just because I just like
But then
breakfast sandwiches.
are you vindicated that you're also like, no, mine are far
Mine
superior?
are better. I do a lot of breakfast in this house.
Yes.
For breakfast or dinner, whatever. And you tell me. You're the one who makes me cook breakfast. Is my breakfast better?
Yes.
Excellent.
Easily.
Where can they find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Nowhere. No.
Don't find me. Don't go looking for me.
Don't. On Instagram at KR Compares. You can also find us on your website, rjpfilms.com/KR Compares. And you can find him multiple places as well. So on Instagram at RJP_films, and then on Twitch.
Where am I at Twitch?
Twitch.tv
/
/ the original Nyando.
There you go. All that'll be somewhere around here.
No lasers this time.
No lasers. So, I guess that's everything.
But thank you for joining us today. Also, just tell us what kind of breakfast items do you usually gravitate towards? Are you a protein or granola type person?
Is
hot cereal?
Is
Nothing?
bacon better had crispy or a little chewy? I need to know in the comments because this is something we don't agree on. But don't forget to
You have like a random poll.
subscribe. Yeah, no, right. Like, subscribe, notify yourself of us. you know the motion. And always comments, watch the video, that kind of thing. Please, it helps. Give us encouragement for new videos, what you want to see. That's all I've got.
Okay, that's all I have too.
Thanks for watching, and we will. Oh, I guess my name's Rob.
And I'm Katie, and we will see you next time. Eat salt responsibly. There you go.